Hey, it's Nina with Worship Piano Tutorials, and today I'm going to show you how to play this song, Firm Foundation, He Won't. It's such a beautiful song. I recently found out about it. I'm going to show you the beginning of the chorus, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty. So this song starts out with a C sharp chord, and then it does the C suspended. And you can play that in flowy style or just chord style. Christ is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand when everything around me is shaking. I've never been more glad that I put my faith in Jesus. And then we get into more of the nitty gritty. So you saw the first chord, it was the C sharp chord. So here's my regular C chord. And the keys, when I play with this C chord, these are the notes that I play. They're all white keys. And in fact, if you want to play this song in a super easy version, you can actually transpose it a half key down and it will be in this key. However, in this case, the original key is this one, and unfortunately there's a lot of black keys, so if you're not comfortable with that, you could just play, instead of C sharp, you can do Christ is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand. So it's totally option. You just ignore that sharp sign on the chord and you just do C, A minor, and G. So if you're a beginner, that's probably a little bit better. But anyway, I will continue to do the original key, which is C sharp. The next chord after C sharp that we see is A sharp minor. So instead of A minor here, we're going to be playing A sharp minor. Then the next chord is G sharp, which looks like this. And those are kind of like the three recurring chords in the chorus. You will notice a slash chord, which is C sharp, which we've already seen. But instead of playing C sharp with your left hand, to add some juiciness, right, we're going to play F with our left hand. Okay, so a little bit of a different sound. We're going to play this. So if you see a slash chord, the first chord is what you play with your right hand. The second chord after the slash is what you play with your left hand. So that's what you're going to do with the slash chords. All right, let's get right into this chorus and practice through these three chords and see if we can get that. So the introduction is just C sharp and then C sharp suspended. And you're going to see this throughout the song. This melody is kind of used throughout the transitions and things like that. Christ is my firm foundation. So notice when I started singing, I'm allowing space for the voice and I'm kind of just playing a little bit less. So for example, my intro was more like this. And then when I start singing, Christ is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand when everything. So those were the three chords. We're starting again at C sharp. Everything around me is shaking. Going to A sharp minor. I've never been more glad. Now we're gonna go to like a different section of that chorus. We're getting introduced to the F sharp chord. That looks like this. That I put my faith in Jesus. Now this is that slash chord. Do you see how pretty that is? Faith in Jesus, C slash F, C sharp slash F. 'Cause he's never let me down. So that's gonna repeat again with the F sharp, C sharp over F, and then A sharp minor, G sharp. So there's kind of like two sections of that chorus, right? We first did these three chords, which were C sharp, and then A sharp minor and G sharp, right? But then in this section of the chorus, we're actually starting with the F sharp. So faith in Jesus, 'cause he's never let me down. Again, he's faithful through generations. So why would he fail now? He won't. Now you're seeing that introduction like transition in this part. So that's what I was saying. Keep attention and pay attention to this C sharp and C sharp suspended, because it'll be used throughout the transitions. So again, we went through that chorus. The first 3 chords were kind of following this pattern of C sharp, A sharp minor, G sharp twice. But then we went into a different section that was like F sharp, C sharp over F, and then back to A sharp minor and G sharp. So we went through that, and I think we'll revisit the chorus for a louder chorus. This was kind of like the first chorus that had a lot of empty spaces. I'm just gonna sing it through one more time. So Christ is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand when everything around me is shaking. I've never been more glad that I put my faith in Jesus, 'cause he's never let me down. He's faithful through generations. So why would he fail now? He won't. Then do that one more time through. 4, 1, 2, 3. So I still got joy in chaos. I've got peace that makes no sense. So then we go into this verse a lot more powerfully. So you saw how I built up to that. It's building up the C sharp. You want to hit on that bass a lot, and then it prepares you for the verse. I still got joy in chaos. I've got peace that makes no sense. I won't be going under. I wonder why this chorus. Oh yeah, okay. So here, instead of just pressing on the C sharp, you can do C sharp over F, just like we did before. Nothing new here. Or you can choose to just do C sharp. So in any slash chord, you can just do that first chord. I won't be going under. I'm not held by my own strength. Now noticing in this verse, we're playing a lot more notes. We're trying to do the bass more. Of course, if you're playing in a group, you won't necessarily need to add all this bass in because you have a whole group. But if you're, maybe just playing piano and guitar, then you will need that powerful. My own strength, 'cause I built my life on Jesus. He's never let me down. He's faithful in every season. So why would he fail now? So you're noticing how I'm playing through the same exact chords that I did for the chorus, but the verse is just a lot more powerful. So we're going into that part of he won't again. So right, so why would he fail now? He won't. 2, 3, 4. Then you switch to suspended. 2, 3, 4. He won't. 2, 3, 4. Again, suspended. 2, 3, 4. He won't fail. one-handed, and then doing he won't fail, he won't fail, he won't. So you can go straight to the chorus again. Christ is my firm foundation, right after this. Now that we're going through this section of he won't fail, I want you to notice that right now I have 3 chords, and I would say it's more of an easy version of he won't fail. So you could continue to do that. So you have the A sharp minor, fail, G sharp, fail, and F sharp, fail. If you want it to sound choppy like the original, you can play something like fail. So kind of like a, and this is my kind of like own variation. I don't know if this is exactly the way they do it, but I know in the original it does sound a little more choppy, like fail, you won't fail. So I don't know if that's what you want to play, if that's the sound that you're going for. I would just say if you want to keep it simple, just play these 3 chords. He won't fail. But again, if you want to add that choppiness, you could either there's different variations of chords that you can do that. This chord is essentially a C sharp. So it's essentially I'm playing A sharp minor, G sharp, F sharp, C sharp, and then F sharp again. So basically, the reason why I'm playing C sharp like this is because I really don't want to travel here. Instead of playing this C sharp down here, I'm going to play it up here. This is just an inverted type of a C sharp chord. All right, so if you want that feel, you can do that. Otherwise, you could just continue playing those 3 chords. All right, now, after going through that, you can get back into the chorus and just playing through the instrumental. And then, after he won't fail, and then you stay on this F sharp. It helps to sing out the bridge while you're switching to the instrumental, because I feel like the instrumental has a total different feel than the rest of the song. So, for example, you're going fail, and then in your mind you can so as you play through this instrumental, so I'm playing F sharp, G sharp, C sharp over F, A sharp minor, back to G sharp real quick, and then back to F sharp, G sharp, and this is setting the tone for that bridge. A sharp minor, transition G sharp, back to F sharp. And you can play this really strongly if you'd like a loud instrumental. You can get creative with the higher notes. Sorry, got a little lost there. And then again, F sharp, goodness, G sharp. What can help is to keep your hand on the C sharp chord, which is, C sharp is the key of this song. So if you want to improvise, and this is something that I talk about in the piano ministry course too, is if you want to improvise and you don't want to mess up, your simple formula is to just put your right hand on the C sharp 1 5 1, and as you're playing through these chords, it'll help you kind of improvise. So if you want to beautify any so what I did here is instead of playing 1 5 1 of C sharp, I'm now playing 5 1 5. Anyway, that's a little bit of theory of how to do instrumentals, but those essentially are the chords. So then whenever you're ready for the bridge, you start singing with these same exact chords. So rain came, a wind that blew, and my house was built on you. I'm safe with you. So what am I doing here? I'm keeping my right hand on that C sharp. This is not everyone's style. You can still keep your hand on each individual chord. Or you can keep your hand on the C sharp the entire time, and your left hand will do that chording work. So I can add some of that flowy style, right? If you would like to add some of the flowy style. But yeah, so you build up that bridge, you sing it through. Off that bridge with these words, built on you, Christ is my firm foundation, and you go straight into that chorus after the bridge. The rock on which I stand when everything around me is shaking. And so you go through that chorus like we have done before. The chords should be the same. There's some versions that add a ton of chords to all of this, and to me it seems a little complicated. I like simple chords and then adding my own things. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.